Hello everyone, in the last class we have discussed about the ER model diagram. Today we are going to discuss about symbols in ER diagram. So there are many symbols are there which can be used in ER diagram. We will go one by one through these particular diagrams. This is entity set. We know that entity set will be enclosed in a rectangular box. This is a diagram we use it for entity set. We use rectangular diagram. Within that rectangular we have to write entity. So this is weak entity set. As we know, weak entity set don't have any kind of primary key. It is a partial key. So this partial key is enclosed within double rectangle. This we call it as weak entity set. And this is relationship set. We know that I like relationships, or we call it as relationship set, and it is enclosed in a rhombus, or we call it as diamond, and within that we will write a relationship set. Identifying relationship. This will be denoted by double rhombus. The double rhombus, within that we will write the identifying relationship. In case of primary key, we know that attributes will be enclosed within ellipse, right? In case of primary key, it is having underlined. So this is a primary key A, and we have underlined it and enclosed within the ellipse. Right? Coming to many relationships. In many-to-many relationship, there will be no arrow across these edges, right? There is no arrows across these edges, so we call it as many-to-many relationships. While coming to many-to-one relationships, we have arrow mark at the one side of the edge, right? This is many-to-many relationship. And coming to one-to-one relationships, in one-to-one relationship there will be arrows on both edges, right? Arrows on both edges we have, and with enclosed in rhombus. As we know, relationship will be enclosed within rhombus. And this is a role indicator. Role indicator, we know that this is a relationship and this is entity which is enclosed in rectangle, and this is enclosed in diamond or rhombus. Within that we will write role name. There will be a link or line, we call it as link or line between relationship and entity. Here we will write role name. Within that link we write role name. And coming to attribute, we know that attributes will be enclosed in a ellipse. And this is multi-valued attribute. Actually, multi-valued attribute will be enclosed in a attribute will be enclosed in a ellipse, right? Multi-valued attribute will be enclosed in double ellipse. And this is a derived attribute which is enclosed in dashed ellipse. As we know, derived, in the last video we have discussed about a derived attribute, which is this derived attribute can be calculated by using some calculations. Like yesterday we discussed age. Age can be calculated by using some calculations, like by using date of birth we can find the age of a particular student, a particular person, right? So those we call it as derived attribute, and which is enclosed within dashed ellipse. And this is total participation of entity set in relationship. And this is a relationship which is enclosed in rhombus, and this is entity which is enclosed in a rectangular. Between that we have double line or double link. We call it as total participation of entity set in a relationship. So this is discriminating attribute of weak entity set. Weak entity set means we know that what are the weak entity sets? Partial keys are the weak entities. So this is a partial key which is underlined with the dashed lines. Dashed. If it is underlined completely, we call it as primary key. If it is dashed line, we call it as weak entity which is enclosed in ellipse. And this many-to-many relationship we have already discussed, which is it has only one side direction, whereas in many-to-many relationship we don't have directions on both sides. In many-to-one relationship we have one side direction, right? So okay, this is cardinality limits. This is a relationship which is enclosed in rhombus. This is entity which is enclosed in rectangle, and it has a link between relationship and entity, and it has a limit of 1 to h. 1 to h. Till h we have a limit. So this we call it as cardinality limit. and this is ISA, which is enclosed in a triangle, reverse triangle, which we call it as specialization and generalization. So these are the diagrams, these are the symbols which formed ER diagram. So these are used, we already discussed in the last video, like what is entity set, relationship set, attribute, what is weak entity, attribute, multi-valued, all we discussed in the last video, right? Yeah, hope you understood this video. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.